It's December the 7th, Saturday. I'm just sitting here watching this show called Evil. First, I thought it was going to be scary, something that I couldn't tolerate. And as I got further into it, it's like some parts, it's like, I think it's to desensitize you to things that's actually going on. But it's really interesting. I'm probably going to skip around, but looking at the nun who has the ability to see demons in general, around people, what have you. They wanted to stop her calling as a nun. Well, not necessarily stop her calling, but to degrade her, to deem her as being unfit or crazy, so to speak. Not because she can see them, but because she saw a demon around the archbishop or whatever. That's when they want to call it blasphemy and say that there's something wrong with her. So that just makes me feel like it's what they doing to most people who have a calling, who have the ability to see. Well, we all have the ability to see. Some ignore it. Many ignore it. It's just quite interesting how this world is. They were talking about a diagnosis, I forgot what the name of it was, but how people get into a state of depression because they are able to see pretty much the evilness in the world. The show was just really interesting. There's an episode of people who claim to be having demonic things happening to them for God on social media. Well, in fact, they're causing the issues themselves. One woman was doing something to her children for clout. Oh, this world. And I know this is a TV show, but this shit really just happens all day, every day. It's kind of the same thing with tarot and pendulums and people using certain tools which aren't really any different from those things that were in the Bible, casting lots and whatnot. It's all metaphysical, magical stuff that they claim that you shouldn't do because it's evil. But yet the government uses it in many forms. But they don't want you to. Then that would be you stopping them somehow. Keeping you above them. can't have that. Oh, by the way, this is for entertainment purposes. Oh. Hmm. The world is an interesting place. It's really interesting how someone could be in a room full of people. You're looking at them, you have a conversation with them. Then the next moment, you can hear some ringing in your ear, or you'll get this feeling in your head. You blink your eyes, and when you open up again, certain people don't look like the same people that they were. They have totally transformed into something else. Then you blink again, and then they're back to the way that they were. I think it's quite interesting that people don't want to listen to people who say things like that or have things like that happen to them. Now, do they not want to listen to them because they're afraid? Do they not want to listen to them because they just don't think it exists or it's real? Or do they not want to listen to them because there are some other people that their mask comes off as around certain people? If I said that right. The people who don't want to hear it are some of the same people who certain people can see their true selves, their true forms. I hope that you are picking up what it is that I'm putting down. I really don't know any other way to explain it. But those that know what I'm talking about. It's just one of those days. Just one of those days. Sometimes it feels like a dream inside of a dream while dreaming. You feel me? I do understand why people want to stay asleep, who don't want to deal with certain things. It can be quite difficult to deal with, especially if you're a really popular person and then you start waking up and being able to see things, and you have all these different clairs and whatnot, and you can't see anything because you have all these people around you. I think that's a setup. I truly think that that's a setup. Because those people were planted. Not all, I'm not going to say all. Some of them were planted, just like this show, Evil. So, a priest who was a black man, Indian guy who, is he Indian? I'm not sure what he is, but he's just like a all-around jack of all trades kind of guy. Then a Caucasian female who was like a psychiatrist. Go on these adventures to prove or disprove these things as being evil or not evil. Yet, the female has a mother who has gotten caught up with these really evil people who do evil things. And she wasn't getting along with her daughter's husband. So these evil people spent all this money to pretend that they were going to pay the husband all this money for one last go around to be gone for 3 months, because they needed it for their house or what have you to pay bills. And the female's mom and these evil people set it up to have him go away. And they have him under some kind of spell. Well, he's awake. He can't speak. He can just nod or shake his head no. And they're pretending to be him on a computer when the wife calls and talks to him. Yet she doesn't know that her mom is doing all of these things. Because you don't expect that kind of stuff from your mother. You don't expect those kinds of things from your children. You don't expect anyone to do anything like that you feel like you love. Or that's supposed to love and care about you. I know I didn't. I did not. And I'm thinking back on, I know I've said this before, or how I met my ex at one of my first jobs. And he came in. At first, I wasn't even thinking about him. I was just doing my job. And at a certain time, I flirted with him. Now, mind you, I was not attracted to him. He's not someone that I would usually want to be around or be with. But I flirted with him. And then within 3 months, we got married. We worked together for quite some time, 2 decades. And I remember the first 6 months. I remember because I read it back in my diary. The first 6 months, I wanted out of the marriage because I didn't know that he was sickly. I didn't know he had a lot of medical issues going on. Because the first 6 months, he was in the hospital. And I had been in the hospital a lot ever since then, surgeries and whatnot. I remember that. Then I remember 2016 was like one of the biggest fights we had. Now, mind you, he had left twice before. And I was gone listening to the church. Send this to your husband if he's not beating you or whatever. Excuse me. That you should take him back or whatever. So I did the first time. The second time, I don't remember what happened. I cannot remember what happened. But then I remember in 2016, I had enough. I didn't. Everything I felt for him was gone. I was gone mentally. I wanted out. But I had made the statement that he could stay to gather up his money and get himself together so that when he moves out, he could be on his own. My mistake was I should just let it be what it was and either leave or have him to leave. But that's who I am. I'm just that was one of my mistakes. And then he just never did try to do anything. I mean, he had jobs, but he was always getting fired from them. If he was even getting fired, because I don't really know. The only job I really knew he had, it was because he was working near the same place I was. I could actually see him working. But any job after that, I don't know if he was actually working or not. Whether he had a uniform or not. Always claiming to get fired or whatever. You just never think that people would have such hatred in your face all day, every day, but actually hate you. I couldn't imagine that. Hating someone and just being in their face all day. I couldn't. You hating, or me hating someone, but I'm eating your food. I don't see it. Sleeping next to someone that you hate. There has to be something wrong mentally. I'm not a doctor. I'm not even, and I don't even play one on television or YouTube. But there has to be something mentally that needs to be adjusted, or chemically that needs to be adjusted for you to do that, for you to play the long game, knowing you had already been in a relationship or married. I don't know which one it was. On both parts now. Because you're married or in a relationship, you step outside of the relationship. The woman you're with knows what it is that you're doing. And you go and live 2 decades with someone else. I don't understand. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know. Maybe I got something twisted. I don't know. But it all seems quite weird to me. What's wrong with you, boy? Louis. That's interesting. Anyway. Just random thoughts. I always just have random thoughts. I just never had evil intentions towards anyone. No. And to think that people wake up all day, every day, scheming and plotting on other people to steal from them, to kill them, to want to chop them up and eat them. What the fuck am I getting? Don't know where that came from. Anyway, that's disturbing. That's disturbing. If I didn't have a great relationship with, I just like to say God for like general purposes, because most people think God. So God, Source, Holy Spirit, Most High, Holy Mother, Father God, whatever you choose to claim, I'm just gonna say God. If I didn't have a good relationship rapport with God, a real relationship, all of this stuff would really affect me. Because sometimes I can feel myself wanting to get depressed, and then I just give it all to God. You know what I'm saying? I just go into prayer, meditate, and it's all gone. And I keep going on, you know what I mean? And I know everyone's not able to do that. not everyone wants to do that. And this is my only opinion. I still believe that some people are not capable of doing that because I'll leave that alone. Anyway, hi Pop-Up. I still Grandma Pop-Up. How you doing, Buffy? How you doing, Buffy? Hi, Stinker. I love you. You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? What you? Hey, hey, wait. What you begging for? Huh? What you begging for? Louie. I love him. Anyway, I'ma go. I'll be back. Ooh. Okay. Yes. I need to put some weave in my hair, maybe. No, I ain't gonna put no weave in my hair. Not anymore. Bye. I'll talk to y'all later.